Good morning, good evening, whatever the hell it is where you are. Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday night, or I guess it is Monday morning in Australia. Is that right?
100% correct. It's 8 a.m. on the East Coast.
Time machine.
What was last night's lottery numbers for Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the supplementary was 8.5.
Okay, I'll be back, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah. And by the way, when football season comes, you and I are going to get to be closer friends because I need to know the scores on Monday morning, right? So, huge welcome to Roger from Harley, Throttle Juice. Welcome. It is 8 a.m. in Australia, and he's going to give us a geography lesson here in a while. So normally I will say, he's like, no, I didn't pay attention to that in school. Normally I ask what everybody's drinking. And Jack, are you drinking anything tonight?
I am.
That's a silly question.
Michelob Ultra because I'm on a diet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colin?
Drinking a Snake Dog IPA.
Ooh, that sounds. Oh, I don't like IPA, but Snake Dog sounds.
Went a little hard tonight, buddy.
I'm drinking the best beer in the planet, Coors Light. And what about you, Roger? I know it's 8 a.m., but
because I've got a meeting starting in an hour and a half.
It'd be
Oh, they won't mind.
Yeah. What could go wrong, right? That would be awesome.
Let the stream continue, and I'll take you in.
So hey, huge welcome. We'll talk why your second half is not here today, even though you're really our first choice. I promise.
You're a liar.
But welcome everybody. Happy Sunday evening and Monday. I see Robin is in Harley Roadshow. So now I cannot say that you're my favorite Aussie because Paul is in the house. So I got
Paul. He didn't say that.
It's like having multiple kids. You love them all. They're just different, right? So that is all. Hope you guys are doing good, by the way. So Colin, who do we have in the house?
Okay, everybody. Hope everybody's doing. First, Bob, good intro. So changed up the pictures a little bit. I saw that. Thank you, and for actually showing me in that big dorky rain suit photo. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, Colin. Before you go, two things. The one picture that you didn't want me to show, I was going to show that. But
Thank God.
You guys will get me back. But I do have the videos of you guys in the living room trying to get your drone all set up, and you're like doing circles and stuff. Freaking hilarious. That one I'll bring up too. So
I shall not be ever posted. So everybody, Superman Cave 2001. How you doing? Riding Humboldt County. Chuck Hansen. Moto to Hi. How are you? Big Bert, what's going on? Blue Bike Girl, hello. HDAV Traveler. Minnow Moto, my fellow Pan Am owner. Mr. Bob Nelson, congratulations on your new ride, buddy. I saw you pick that up a couple weeks ago. Pete's 1800, who we're going to be riding with very shortly in about 2 weeks. Looking forward to that, Pete. Roguelite Andy, how are you, sir? Who else do we have in here as I scroll down here? Let's see here. Robin the Lady Biker, we mentioned you earlier. And you'll have to explain this to us, Roger, once we get to it, how far Robin is compared to you. Donna Main, how are you doing today? WS Keys on 3. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If I did, guys, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time to join us this lovely night on Sunday night, also known as Monday morning Australia. There you go, Bob.
Awesome. Thank you. And again, huge welcome. Let the banter begin. Now, I got to tell you, it was important when we Roger agreed after we twisted his arm to be on the show, because Colin and I had this text going back and forth, and it was basically, what type of questions do we want to ask an Australian person, right? And you know what? We didn't want it to be offensive, so we kind of said one or two of them to Roger, and he goes, no, that'll be fine. So he said it was okay for one or two, so we got like 20 of them. So just beware. So
hopefully some of them will be about the New South Wales-Victoria rivalry. But anyway, sorry about that, Paul.
Yeah, that's the better team. Isn't that what you said?
Who? Victoria?
Yeah.
Not Victoria. So, no, please, no positive comments about the state of Victoria. I'm sorry. I've put too many people offside already. Sorry.
Bob, that's a whole different conversation about football over there.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Well, I should have put that in that should be a question, shouldn't it? I mean, really, come on. So, all right, hey, let's get rolling, and Roger, we're gonna start with you. And other than I decided today after watching your video that came out this morning that you are now my new drone expert. So when it comes to drones, shots, man, incredible stuff. But hey, tell us a little bit about you, your channel, and kind of how you got on this YouTube thing, and what the plans are for the future.
Okay, so first of all, apologies for Rochelle not being here. She just started a new job, so she had to, and she starts at 8. So you'd rather have her mug on here than mine. But so we started the channel. Our first video was at the end of March last year, and so we're obviously riders, and we were watching channels like Harley Roadshow, Throttle Down Under, obviously $1 Million Bogan and stuff like that. And just, you know how it works. You're a rider and you think about filming your videos and your journeys, and you're thinking, maybe we should have a crack at that. So that was basically the inspiration for us to start the channel in the first place. And we have the luxury of, not that it's a bad thing having opinions, we just have the luxury of each being a rider and having our own bike. So we just thought, what better way to capture our journeys and share it with everyone else than start to put together some videos. So I ride a 2020 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special. Rochelle is on a 2019 CVO Street Glide, purchased down the road at Central Coast Harley. So as I said, the channel's been going for about 16 months now. What we love, apologies if there's going to be a further question, but what the moto community is just a fantastic thing, right? And what I love is that very, very early on, we got a ton of fantastic support from the Australian moto community. But obviously what happens with YouTube is people start finding you around the world, and all of a sudden you start riffing and communicating with people from the US and Canada and the UK, and there's a Gregor from Refuel Ride Race from Slovenia and whatnot, and it's just a marvelous thing. Hopefully we'll get to meet you guys in the flesh one day, but just to be able to do stuff like this, and and then they're joining the live streams, and I'm in Jack's morning coffee live stream, which is 10 p.m. on a Saturday for us. As I said before, it's a beautiful wind down to our Saturday. More often than not, I've been riding all day, and I'm happy to see, like, all the names that are popping up in the chat now. These are the people that I riff with as often as I can in Jack's stream, and watching as many of these, it's just an infectious thing. And that's what keeps us buoyant and keeps us excited and motivated about continuing on with the channel. You said future plan. So future plans, I've got a lot of cinematic editing ideas in my head that I'm constantly trying to put together and pull off. More road trips. We've got another big interstate road trip coming up in October. We will definitely be getting over to the US next year. There's a big trip planned for that, and possibly people coming with us. We're about to start a brand new series, like a Q&A series that we've set up with our local dealer, the Central Coast Harley Davidson dealership down the road, where it's a Q&A, where we've got access to the guys there, and we're going to set it up so that the viewers can post comments to us, and it could be anything from performance to what sort of jacket do I need, am I better suited to that bike or that bike, and do I stick with a 114 and put a cam in it versus a 131 and all that sort of stuff? And that dealership they're genuine. They're not grabbing you by the throat and trying to sell you a bike. They're more interested in giving you valuable advice. So that series is about to begin, and I'll take a breath now.
I love your accent.
Do you?
Yeah, man. I mean, can you guys even do an Australian accent for the Americans?
But we got a whole question around the accent thing.
Because I've been trying to hello, mate. I mean, is that even close?
No, that's British. Colin.
That's British.
I tried to learn when I was watching Crocodile Dundee, and I would practice because I mean he's the true Australian.
Hey, Colin. So you can tell how much I paid attention, and when we were kids in the U.S. I have a map like off screen, so I can really realize where the hell everything is, because apparently I am not that smart, right? But the accent, the words, bloke, mate, we're gonna get all over that because we think it's super cool. You guys probably think we're a pain in the ass, but
no, we don't, because we love the way that you accentuate letters and words and pronunciate as well. But the number one priority, the number one focus you need to pay attention to is how many times you can incorporate the word mate into a sentence.
We're going to talk about that too, because you gave me permission to call you mate, and that was like, something was on my shoulder that was really bothering me. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, but you got to stop saying mate. You got to go mate. What's mate?
Not to get us off track, but what's the difference between mate and bloke?
Same. Well, a bloke is a guy, a man.
All right.
But
yeah, what's a woman? Because I called my wife that. I was asking somebody, what is a female?
Well, it depends on how far you want to go back. I'm close. I'm basically your vintage. I'm almost 57. So in the old days, we'd call them Sheilas.
Yeah, because I called my wife Sheila the other day, and she smacked me. She's like, "That's not my name," and I'm like, "Oh crap!" And I said, "I'm pretending I'm Australian, hun." She goes, "That's not even right." I'm like.
So Sheila is a name. Is not. I don't know of any Australian women called Sheila. Maybe 30, 40 years ago. But if you say Sheila, first of all, you've got to be at least mid-40s onwards in Australia to call someone a woman a Sheila these days. And in this day and age, even some Australian women are offended by that. I think.
Oh God!
I just found out I have a Karen living across the street from me, but that's a whole video.
We have some choice words. We have some choice words here in the States for women too that they don't like. So trust me.
Wow.
So I won't use Sheila anymore, even though I am 40. Even though I am 42, and I could do that, but I'm not.
42. You look. I was going to say you don't look a day over 41.
Thank you. I just grade early. That's all.
I have no negative words for any females. Just saying. I want to be on the record of that.
No, me neither.
Not online anyway.
All right. Hey, let's talk about favorite places to ride. And I think what really started this question is, watching some of your videos, watching some of Paul's, Big Bert, Robin, that is now in Australia, just some beautiful, beautiful places. So for us, it's going to be a US type road, but what is it in Australia? What is that favorite place that you like to take your bride, or she likes to take you, I should say? We're going to talk about that too. But where do you like to go? What's the best if you only got one road to ride?
Oh, if there's only one?
Yeah.
See, we're in the middle of our Great Ocean Road series right now, and if you ask many Australians, they'll say, "Oh, Great Ocean Road is the Mecca," because for anyone that's watched the first 2 or 3 videos of the series, it winds around. It's like Australians will say it's our version of the Pacific Coast Highway, right? But I've done the Pacific Coast Highway in a car, and I've said to Australians, stop raving about Great Ocean Road. It's nothing compared to that. But that's the Mecca as far as Australians are concerned. But it also depends on whether you want to go coastal or inland, right? So, I mean, we've done Central West runs, not as high up as what Paul and Elaine just recently did on the Outback trip. We will be doing that. But if you like that more rustic adventure, then the roads that Paul and Elaine would have taken would be your favourite. But a lot of people say Sheila. Look at them all.
Apparently, you're the only one that doesn't know that you call them Sheila in Australia.
Really?
I even knew that.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Jack will be single here, so maybe he'll be able to date
in the old days, you would say, "Oh, mate, she's a ripper Sheila." So you throw mate in, "Oh, mate."
All right.
Look, I'll say Great Ocean Road, but a lot of people like the twisty, windy Great Ocean Road part between Torquay and Apollo Bay. And you saw a little bit of it in the episode this morning or last night. But I like the more open stretches where you can see the cliffs and the coastline off in the distance or not too far off away from you. So I prefer that. So a lot of people you speak to in Australia will say on the east coast of Australia, we love the Great Ocean Road, which is in Victoria, below New South Wales.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
How about you, Jack?
Beautiful areas out there, Roger. You're very blessed to have that. Just seen on some of your videos how, gorgeous. I think, Bob, you might have mentioned this earlier, just from the drone work you do out there and just really showcase. Because I think this morning was in Victoria, correct?
Yeah, that series in Victoria.
So, just beautiful roads, man. So good for you. And a lot of people might not know this. Robin actually had to teach me this. She sent me a photo of the outline of Australia kind of silhouetted onto the outline of the United States. And it's almost the exact same size. United States is a little bit bigger. Yeah. But I couldn't believe, I had no idea, honestly, it was that big. So
we just have a lot less in, like I said to you guys last week, it is the similar size. We just have not much in the middle.
Yeah, it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, Jack.
So is the middle all outback then? Is that why nobody lives there?
Mostly, yeah, mostly.
Yeah, it's kind of deserted.
Yeah,
I got an important.
In itself, that creates great journeys as well, going through those outback towns, supporting the people out there.
I got some great outback questions later too. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, the one thing is Australia, where the blooming onion was invented.
Oh,
just
Jack, you gotta wait. Sorry, buddy.
Right.
All right. Anyway, my top picks, and I was reading through this, is Needles Highway in South Dakota. Has to be the most amazing road I've ever ridden in my life. And I've ridden some good ones, but it's really good. And I was telling Miss St. John, she goes, but the Badlands was also really, really good. Not technical, just really cool to be out there and be in the Badlands.
How do you fit a Road Glide Ultra through those cavernous little bits and needles?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, also Needles Highway has 1-lane tunnels where, if you're not watching, somebody's coming the other way, you're going to get creamed. So what I would do is have my wife run up first and check it. She'd run through it and make sure it's okay. She didn't get run over. I knew it was all right.
Attaboy.
I said, hurry up, Sheila, like that, really fast. So I think, Bob, my wish list, though, I think the one road that I want to ride that we were supposed to do last year, we talked about going out, was renting a bike to go from California to Washington on Route 1 up the coast. I think that would be the best ride ever.
For sure.
And I don't even know how long it would take you to ride the whole thing. So we did spend some time on Route 66 this year, but of course not on a motorcycle. We was in a car, but so I also have plans on riding that sometime if I can find the proper guys to take 2 weeks and hit it with me to go from Chicago all the way to California on 66.
Do you have any good friends that would do that with you?
No, not really.
What a dick.
We'll see. I'm trying to coax these guys. I'm trying to get them to buy some camping gear, and they're like, yeah, you don't need any tents at the Marriott. I'm like,
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I hear there's grass in the back of Marriott where you could pitch your tent. So, just saying. So, how about you, Colin?
There's several. I think, and a lot of them you guys have rode too, but I'll give some obscure ones that a lot of people haven't rode, at least in my opinion, they haven't, because I think it's underrated, is up on the Kankamangas Highway up in New England. Anywhere in the White Mountains is just absolutely beautiful. New Hampshire, Vermont, that entire area by Lincoln, New Hampshire is just amazing. A lot of people talk about the show Laconia out there every year, but it's beautiful riding out there in New England. Maine was okay, but honestly, like upstate New York and New Hampshire and Vermont was phenomenal. Probably the best roads that Jack and Bob, I know you guys have rode that I thoroughly enjoy, is Smoky Mountain National Park. Just phenomenal roads there. It's so enjoyable. That entire area obviously is. Cherahalla, Foothills Parkway, obviously the tail. That's beautiful. I could go on and on. I think there's so many roads in West Virginia that are just amazing. That's probably, in my opinion, next to Tennessee, the best state in the country to ride in is West Virginia. My wish list for sure is to do the $1 Million Highway in Silverton, Colorado, to your right. I drove that many times, but I've actually never rode it before, and it's just absolutely gorgeous out there. It's in the Southwest Mountains of Colorado. And then in the Colorado region, the Rocky Mountain National Park, which is where Estes Park is, and that's where it starts. And Estes Park is where they filmed The Shining, the hotel scene. So that entire route up there is just incredible. Like I said, I've been on it in a vehicle, but I've never been on two wheels. So that's like my ultimate goal, to get out there and ride those areas. There you go.
Do you ever look at a hotel hallway and go red rum, red rum?
Red rum.
Do you ever do that? I mean, that's awesome. You know what? It made me think that Kevin, we have a lot of folks that are with our friends from Canada. I know a lot of great roads up there that we never really talk about. We should get one of those guys on here again soon.
Yeah, British Columbia, I'd love to hit.
Yeah.
Alaska, British Columbia in general is just beautiful out there. So I've only been to Canada twice. So I've only been to Manitoba. So, and that's kind of wide and vast. But I've never been out to out west, British Columbia. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, to me, I love riding the coast, and I guess the same way, Colin. We kind of talked about the Smokies, and we're all going to be going on a ride here again in a couple of weeks, and we're going to get to ride the Smokies again, and that's just one of my favorite places. But Jack, I'm with you. My wife and I were just talking about let's go out and ride Needles. Let's go out there at a time where there's not 50 million people out there, right? So
best time to do it.
Yeah, but because there's some great roads out there for sure. So, all right. Hey, next question, and this is a little bit different. The reason I asked this is all three of our brides ride with us on the bike. Some of them sometimes.
Kind of buy her off with shopping.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, we're not going to talk about the candle story, but
candles.
Roger, we know that's not the case with you. So tell us how that is. I mean, for us, our wives don't ride with us as much. When they do, I think we enjoy it, especially because they could watch the replay of this. But how is it? When you go out, are you mostly going with Rochelle? Or are you going by yourself with buddies, or how do you guys do that? And how do you like it?
I don't have anything against it, but I can't remember off the top of my head any time that I've gone out and ridden with another guy. Because Rochelle and I just have a synergy, and we just probably 75% of our riding is just she and I. And then every now and again we have the pleasure of riding with her Chewy and Throttle Down Under and Bikes, Burgers, Beers and whatnot, and all the people that live in Sydney, which is not that far south of us. So so we do a lot of riding together. That's
awesome.
Together. Yeah, and as I said, she is the one to keep up with, Robert. She's badass on the bike. So we don't do intercom, we don't do headsets. We just we just use hand signals, and a lot of people have asked us, why don't you do that? Maybe you should introduce that to your channel. And I think that would be a great dynamic to the channel. But I've often said to people, the time that we're on the bike, even though we might only be 10, 15 meters apart from each other, each on our own bike, it's the one time where we're alone inside our helmets with our own thoughts. So we spend so much time together. It's not, we're together, but
I did that in the car on our trip. My wife rode in the back seat. I rode in the front. It was our alone time.
Did you say you were on the bike, or you're talking about from the passenger seat?
No, we were actually in the car. I put her in the back seat, and I was in the front. And then when she drove, we switched, and I sat in the back. So, but that was my alone time.
Yeah,
I'll text Mary real quick. Hold on.
We'll take a snippet of this and send it to her after this. So
we did. We have filmed 2 episodes where one of them was forced because Rochelle's bike was being serviced. But there's an episode where we went out for a breakfast ride and she was on the back of mine, and that was a blast. That was weird. And then on the way home, she convinced me to just do a quick sequence where I was on the back, because I said, I'm never being your on the back of a bike. I'm not going to be shown. And I allowed her to film a 4 or 5 minute sequence, and it was freaky. I don't like being on the back.
Oh, I got to see that. What video?
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome though, because on trips I get tired riding. I would love my wife to take over, and I'll sit on the back and read a book.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but we don't have ultras. We don't have a lounge chair on the back with you just hanging off.
Okay.
I tell you what, you don't hear that too often about the comms, though. That's cool that you guys just kind of get into your own riding.
Yeah, you don't hear that much.
Yeah, because we're like when the three of us ride, we don't shut up. I mean, like we have to have like battery packs on our helmet, otherwise they die.
But that's the positive aspect of it too, because and particularly that series that I watched of you guys where you're on that trip and you hit that massive storm, and I actually think the connection between you three guys is great because the banter is great. It never stops. You might throw it and you guys, what do you might say something and say, what do you guys think? And then Bob and Jack chip in, and I actually think that dynamic works.
You might be my first customer for the unrated, unabridged DVD. It's $99.95. It's got all the banter you're going to want.
Oh my!
Is this the? I'll pay $99 if it's got all the X-rated stuff.
Oh, it's X-rated.
It's not good. It's not good.
No,
we would have much smaller channels than our smaller channels right now. If people, I think anyway.
Maybe they might actually be bigger. You know, it's like you listen to $1 Million Bogan talks. You got a trash mouth, and he's huge.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That's true.
HCR, how about you? I think the three of us are kind of in the same road. I know that my wife doesn't ride as much with me as she used to, but Roger, for me at least, the comms with my wife, in my opinion, made us closer. It really helped riding and talking, and I guess there are times that she'd like to hit the button and listen to music instead of me, and vice versa. But I don't know, Jack, how about you?
Yeah, I've seen when we've taken the bike on vacations, and I've told people this. We even in the car this time we went. This trip was 2,400 miles, and very seldom was the stereo in the car on. I mean, we talk about everything, and it's like we've never met each other. It's crazy. And we do the same thing on comms when we're riding together. But you're right, Bob. There's times like when I break out in song or start singing, she does like just hits the button and clicks me off, But yeah, I mean, and Mary's getting the same way as your wives are. She's not riding as much with me anymore. Maybe 3 times a year if I'm lucky, and I think it's not so much, maybe it's because she has we got grandkids now and she doesn't want to be the first one killed off, and she wants, I don't know what her thought process is, but I'm not sure.
That just went down a dark road.
What's that?
That just went down a dark road.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I don't know why, she's not enjoying it much more. So we're actually been talking about getting rid of the touring bike and not having a touring bike anymore if we're not going to use it, and just get more around town bikes for me, because like I said, she doesn't ride a whole lot anymore.
Hey, Roger, I don't know if you've seen it because it was a much earlier video, but there were a time that Jack and I and our wives were riding together. I think this is before we even met Colin, and Jack can potentially every now and then just break out in singing. And for some reason, the 4 of us got on the YMCA song. I'm not sure if you know that in Australia.
That was funny.
Yeah.
The women and us riding, it was something that I was almost ashamed to put out, but I did. But
almost ashamed? You should have been ashamed.
It was pretty funny, that's for sure. So those were good times. So
I like Jackie Boy's comment in there too. I don't know if you can highlight that. He says if his wife stopped riding with him, he would probably hang it up. Jackie Boy, that's my time away, brother. Sometimes you got to be away from your spouse. And I know you guys do a lot together, and you're really, and I appreciate that. Just like right now, she said, I'm going with my daughter out shopping. I'm like, ciao, man. See you later, Sheila. Take care. And she left, so.
Yeah, you know what? Without getting too much down that road, I think that, at the end of the day, it depends on how your relationship is, right? Whether it's time away from each other or time together. And
you do too, Bob. I notice you ride a lot on your bike. Usually you're out every day. Do you feel that that's your time away from your spouse? Like, I mean, you live in the same house with her, right?
Honestly, I'd rather her be on the bike with me.
Really? Really?
Most of the time, yeah, I really do. And I want to keep us rolling here, but at the end of the day, I think that if your wife at times is your best friend, I think it changes how you want to do that or not do that. I think I see that in you, Roger. And and I know I see that in Jackie Boy and his wife, and
and I said that too. I mean, we are best friends,
Yeah.
and you have to be as you're getting older in age. If you're not friends with your spouse, you're not going to last. I mean, you guys know that because some things in your relationship are going to disappear, so you better be friends, right? Bob, I don't know if you're insinuating that me and Mary are not close friends.
No, I wasn't.
I think you know us better than that, but I think that's a real dig at me, and I think that's bullshit. But go on.
I'm going to make the most of it because I don't know if any of you know, but I'm 14 years older than Rochelle, so I'm going to make the most of it because at some point,
nice.
That is.
I'm 4 years. I got 4 years on my wife, so
that is for sure. Well, hey, brother, I didn't mean it to be a dig. I just wanted to say that a lot of people do like that and prefer that, right? So
yeah, right. And I know a lot of people. I've met a lot of older couples. The wife dies, and 3 days later, the husband dies. It's a weird phenomenon. That happens.
Yeah. How about you, Colin? I know that your bride doesn't ride with you.
Come on, keep it going. Cat fight.
I can't see these comments. Where are they?
Holy crap! It's okay. I'm sorry.
We rarely disagree. So that is like first, thank you for not highlighting Blue Bike Girl. Appreciate it. That's why I was laughing so hard a minute ago.
She was looking for you, man.
Well, you say that, I got to go search.
Yeah, you're gonna go find it and find her. Yeah, it made me blush a little bit. So to answer your question, I do enjoy riding with Lori. I very much. She went through a stage where she was very fearful for getting on the back of the bike. And then she finally did it. And we, the two guys in this room with me, we did it up in Tennessee and she had a blast. Now the comms, thank God we were on different channels. But we could hear, like the three of us were on one channel for Cena's and then they were on, we could hear them. That's how loud they were in the back of our, that's just the echoes of them talking, but they wouldn't be quiet, but she had a blast. She still doesn't go on that much, but I do enjoy it when she does jump on here and there. That took a lot for her to actually get on because that had a lot of anxiety for her in the beginning to actually get on the back of a bike. And then once we did it, she loved it. And that's what's awesome is getting that feeling that actually I rode with her and she's like, wow, I really enjoyed the hell out of this. And that was cool.
Very cool. All right. Hey, what's that?
Paul just said I'm old.
Yeah, you can tell you're good friends. I always say if you don't give somebody shit, you don't love them, right? So
it's a prerequisite. You're born with that trait in Australia.
Yeah. Hey, I think we talked about this maybe 2 weeks ago on Colin's show. If you follow our channels, we've just been through some bad riding together, bad weather riding for sure. That was it was more than just a rain and lightning in the distance. It was lightning close. It was a little scary for us actually. What's the weather like in Australia? And you got an experience that you can tell us about?
Yeah. Well, depends on what region you're in. If you're up in Queensland, and I lived there for 6 years, you would get a lot less rain than, for instance, in New South Wales and Victoria, but it's a tropical downpour. So it might only rain for 10 minutes in Queensland, but it pulls roofs off houses and just destroys lots of things. And a lot of people don't know, Victoria cops a rap in Australia for being the worst weather, but there's actually double the annual rainfall in New South Wales than there is in Victoria. You just get the cold winds and whatnot in Victoria, whereas Robin over in WA, she gets the best of the Australian weather. But there was one incident. We were coming back from a trip through the Central West, I think the end of 2020, and it was a pretty warm day during the day while we were riding, and I had my soft boxes just switched off. So I had sunscreen on.
It didn't work.
Bloody photographers.
Can you move the camera while you're beating the hell out of it, if you don't mind? Because that's great.
I'm going to $1 million bogan. Where's a GoPro so I can throw it against the wall? And so we had sunscreen on, and we pulled over in a shop where Rochelle wanted to check out some stuff, and then we left, and we saw some storm clouds coming, and within 5 minutes, it's absolutely pouring down, and all of a sudden the rain just got inside the visor, and then it was running into the sunscreen, and then getting into my eyes, and I could barely see in front of me in a torrential downpour in front of me. and Rochelle's motioning that there's a huge semi-trailer right behind me, and just frightening, just trying to find a pullover spot. But apart from that, I haven't had any instances where, well, I certainly haven't had lightning like you guys got the other week, whenever that was. That was freaky to watch that sort of stuff. But nothing to the point where I felt, well, I won't say I didn't feel like my life was in danger with a semi-trailer probably about 20 meters behind me, but nothing too bad beyond that.
Yeah, it's I think we had a little $1 million bogan in us when we said, let's just ride through it, right?
Bob? What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, what could go wrong, right? So we may rethink that, and maybe we're not as smart or as young as we thought we were before. So
so stupid.
It was really
so dumb.
And you know what? The weather was so bad. It's not like you could get video of it anyway. We had to take all of our gear off, right? So
yeah, I think we just had one shot of it.
Yeah,
all of your gear off.
Well, yeah, the video gear anyway. So yeah, we're not showing us running naked on the bikes. Nobody wants to see that. So, hey, let's transition over, because I know, Roger, that one thing you do, and I know Jack does it as well. You guys got different hobbies, right? I know that maybe you could talk to us a little bit about some photography you do. I know Jack's done that professionally, and he likes fishing, and Colin and I just basically work and ride motorcycles. So what do you like outside of riding? What do you do when you're not riding other than work?
So I don't do as much photography as I used to. I still call myself a semi-professional because we still do some paid work, but Jack could probably speak to this as well as me, but there's not a lot of people. I personally believe that the era of big money in photography is gone, because too many people think that they could take a photo and apply a filter on a phone and think it's magical. And don't get me started on that yet, Jack. Thumbs up. No, I won't go down that rabbit hole because I'll take up the rest of the stream. But I still do a lot of that. I have a website, rogerbrooksphotography.net, if you want to check it out. So there's various galleries on there. I find that, particularly with the landscape stuff, it's not the hustle and bustle of like wedding stuff that Jack used to do, or might still do some, and portraits. When you're out in the landscape and you pick a nice location, it's relaxing getting there and getting home, but just being out in the wilderness and not having a deadline. You're going to have issues with lighting and whatnot, but it's just relaxing, just being out there and going through the process. And that's what calms me. Apart from riding, that's what calms me down and just brings me down a few pegs and just relaxes me. And Rochelle likes to come along and just watch that happen a lot of times. So I like to do that. And then in the spare time, we're having a bit of a hiatus at the moment. I said this on my 5 Things You Didn't Know About Me video, but I also a co-host of a heavy metal and hard rock radio program. I've been a heavy metal. Colin threw a Megadeth quote into the chat last year. You spelled Megadeth wrong, but anyway, I'll let you pass on that. So, but I like a lot of different types of music, but that's where I come from. But yeah, photography, and I used to play a lot of golf. I played a lot of serious, very, very serious golf, but I had to give it up in 2015. I broke my left thumb, and then it's never recovered fully. I went back to playing, but I couldn't get back to playing at the level I was. So, and then motorbike riding took over, because I've only been riding since the end of 2016. So that took over and became our lifestyle, and then tying into the whole Rochelle thing, and that's what we do now. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, photography plays a big role.
And who needs your thumb other than turn signals? I mean, really, right?
Yeah, correct. Well,
you're good. So,
yeah.
Jack, how about you?
So as Roger was saying about the photography, I've done that for years and years, and doing weddings I actually stopped doing, because weddings are not so much the bridezillas out there, it's the momzillas that are got to be a pain in the backside.
Right.
Mothers, but the mothers are the ones cutting the checks, and they're just horrible sometimes people. And we have kids that got married, and we've been involved with all that. So, I mean, I could probably say that maybe I was horrible too, but, and Roger's exactly right. Once the once the cell phone was invented and the cameras put on it, nobody knows what a good picture is anymore.
But I have an iPhone 13.
It doesn't. Yeah.
No?
You could take beautiful.
Put it away, Bob. Put it away.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You could take beautiful pics, but nobody's eyes now know what a really. They don't understand the lighting effects. The halo effects. It's just a whole different world. Now I still do senior portraits. I like doing those because I always say I can do a do-over. If the people don't like them, we'll go back out and shoot them again. And I also do engagement pictures again because I can do a do-over. Outside of that, I used to fly airplanes, and I told Miss Fisher I want to get back into it, and she said you have enough hobbies that cost a lot of money, so maybe you shouldn't do that again. So playing guitar, like to play guitar, and as Roger said, one hobby always gives away timing to another hobby. So motorcycle riding was taking up all of my time. It was consuming me, and I didn't fish anymore. And not a buddy actually. Wait, let me rephrase that. An acquaintance said, well, the reason you don't fish anymore is because you're doing something else. So then I bought a boat, and that forces me now to go fishing because I have the boat that I have to take out and take the boat out. So, but I think that's the extent of my hobbies other than guitar playing, which I'll be doing more of that this winter because obviously I can't fish or ride. So I'll be picking the guitar back up this winter. But that's kind of the extent of my hobbies right now.
Quick question. You don't sing during your guitar playing time, do you? Asking for a friend.
Only if I'm playing electric guitar in the shower, then I will.
Yeah. Electric in the shower.
Yeah, it's a real pickup.
What a thing!
I know how to play Stairway to Heaven, and that's it. So
can you play Stairway to Heaven on guitar?
I can.
That's excellent, man.
It's pretty easy to do. Well, that's maybe just 5 seconds of it, to be honest. So
that's all right.
Colin, how about you? Outside, you and I are probably a lot the same. We work and ride, right?
We work and ride. I think I've told you guys this. I play with my wood a lot. So I enjoy woodworking. So I enjoy playing with get that shit off.
We heard it at the house, Colin. Actually, no, go ahead.
It's my old dad woodworking joke. So no,
G-rated, remember?
Yeah, it's G-rated. But no, I enjoy. I don't know. I love building things. I do. So like when I get a chance, and I don't get to do it that often, but when you get chop saws and all these different things, table saws, and I'm like, oh, cool, I can cut wood and just build stuff. It's fun. So I don't play guitar. I tried it once, but I do play saxophone, but it was a long time ago. So I was more of a horns guy. You ever see in my, Lori, makes fun of me still because she still has a photo of me. You know what a baritone is?
Yeah, baritone sax.
It's like a smaller tuba. So like I had a big ass freaking baritone I played in when I was really young, and then sax. So I could pick that up just playing horns, but I never played the strings, just horns. But that's pretty much it. I mean, riding to me is just like my ultimate hobby. It's so much fun. Obviously, the YouTube thing's a total hobby for me, but I wouldn't give this up for the world. Riding, I just absolutely love it. So that's me.
Where is Robin? Robin, where are you? I'm not sure what to say on that. So, same way with me. I think it's right. I think we missed it. I think YouTube's kind of a hobby, right?
Yeah.
We do a lot of YouTube, YouTube and work for me. So, all right. So back by popular demand, or basically because I thought it'd be a cool idea. However you want to look at it.
Being involved in this decision.
Yeah. Hey, I did text it, and Jack said, "Yeah, that's a good idea." So I went with it. Right. So these are the non-offensive, truly trying to understand a little bit more about somebody from Australia, as well as we have a lot of folks that we follow from Australia. So we got questions for you, Roger. So hopefully you're ready. Okay.
I gotta go now.
All right. No. You gotta stay, dude. You gotta roll through this with us. So, all right. And this is for the other guys as well. What is your favorite type of animal? And this is for me. How can I get a pet kangaroo? Because I know it's naive and silly, and everybody thinks Australia's kangaroo, but I really want one. So, can you help me out here? What's your favorite animal, and what's popular in Australia?
Well, kangaroos are very popular, but kangaroos. So you guys all are fascinated by kangaroos, but Australians love kangaroos, but they're in such huge numbers. They actually become I'm hesitant to say a pest, but there's just so many of them there, right? But they're just such a beautiful and iconic animal to our landscape. So I'm going to say kangaroo, but Rochelle is a huge horse lover. She's very fond of that animal and rides them often. Yeah, kangaroos are like deer, Robin. So I'm gonna stay on my wife's good side and say a hawk kangaroos are delicious. Cut it out, Rob. Throw it out.
Before you lose that thought, if kangaroos like deer, do you guys hunt them like we hunt deer? Is that like an animal you can eat, or it's just an animal of beauty?
A little bit of both. I suspect that in the background it doesn't get any what shall I say? No, people don't focus on it, but I'm sure that in the background hunters are contracted to go on. And if you go on a road trip on a rural region in Australia, you've only got to ride 30 minutes and you will see a lot of kangaroo carcasses on the side of the road that have been knocked over by trucks in the night. So they do a job, unfortunately, of doing that. But yeah, a little bit.
Roger, I don't know if you know this, but Bob has a kangaroo Mustang seat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does.
And by the way, when Colin and I were texting funny questions back and forth, one of them was, how big is the pouch? What could you get in there?
Well,
that's a good question. We didn't know.
I'm just about to say, depending on the age of the kangaroo, what is it that you would like to store in the pouch? I mean, I've got 3 in the room next door to me. What size would you like? And
your cell phone? Bring them in, man. That's great video right there. So, and I think
guys, hop in here.
You know what? I think Robin. I like that. Hop in here. I think Robin said it. You know, kangaroos are like deer to us, right? Except we hunt deer, or some people hunt deer, right? And definitely harvest and eat them. But and yeah, Andy, I know we got some spam in here. I'm trying to block those as they come in. So
yeah. And I said to you guys in the chat last week, we still in Australia we still become a little amused when we see some people from outside of our country make references to kangaroos and koalas, and it's almost like you think you get off the plane and, oh, look, there's one right there.
It's because they're cool. That's why.
But they're not on the tarmac.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
bad.
Well,
they're on the back. They're on the tail of our plane, but they're not. The Qantas.
Roger, every night I can sit on my deck and watch deer walk back and forth. I just one time want to see a kangaroo. That's all I'm asking. Just a simple. Yeah. Jack, animals that you like real quick, the best. Since this is the speed round.
Oh, yeah, yes, probably just really quickly, one word would be horses.
I've always been a fan of zebras.
Oh. Really?
I just think they're cool looking. That buffalo.
Dude, what the hell's wrong with you?
What's wrong with zebras?
Who's ever said a zebra when you ask them their favorite animal?
Dude, I'm different.
Ain't that
I like zebras. I like buffalo, zebras, llamas.
Llamas?
Yeah, llamas are cool.
Jack, what are those animals when you were riding? When we were riding early when I first met you, what was it? Alpacas that you were talking to me about?
Oh, yeah. Bob's wife and I want to start an alpaca farm.
Hang on, was this segment called Rapid Fire?
Or? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, Roger.
Colin, did I cut you off?
It was my fault.
Get shit off.
Get that shit off.
All right. What's the favorite drink? It should be Coors Light, but what's the favorite drink of Australians?
Foster.
We don't drink Fosters here. That's another thing. You think kangaroos are on the tarmac and koalas and Foster? No one drinks Fosters. Fosters died in Australia 100 years ago. That's in the UK. Llamas spit. They do spit, Harley, Rochelle. Look at this.
What the hell?
No Fosters here. No. Yeah, I think they do. He's gone. He's taking himself. Bob's lost his shit here.
Oh my God.
Colin, come back.
Our guest 2 weeks from now will be Blue Bike Girl, no doubt. After that,
Are you sure?
No, I'm really not. So, what do you drink in Australia?
Well, one of the favorite beers is Victoria Bitter. Tooheys New if you're in Australia. They're the favorite ones, although a lot of the boutique beers made by a company called Cooper's. There's a pale ale that Cooper's make, very popular. And me, I'm sadly addicted to Pepsi Max. I've got to get off that stuff.
Yeah, Pepsi's bad stuff. You should drink Coke. Where's
Diet
Jackie?
Coke only.
Where's Jackie boy? When you
Diet Coke is what they use to clean coins.
Yeah, I know it. I feel it, brother, for sure. HDR, how about you?
I think my I don't know. Favorite drink probably is the Wild Turkey Honey Whiskey that I introduced you guys to, and you actually are shooters now. So
that wasn't bad, man. It was pretty tasty.
It's pretty smooth.
It was smooth. Yeah, it was good.
Didn't I see Jack sipping a shot in a few episodes back? What was
you may have
while he was riding?
No.
No, that's the what's that thing? Oh, the flask.
You did mention when we got there that you forgot your flask, and
I did. So what did I do?
You went out and bought more alcohol.
Bought a bottle.
My concern is you were really freaked out that you didn't bring your flask. I'm like, dude, it's okay. We could get you another one, right? So,
I know.
Non-alcohol Coke Zero for sure. None of that Diet Coke crap. Coke Zeros. Beer-wise, Sam Adams, Heineken, Stella. Those are my three.
Coors Light, Diet Coke. What else is there? All right, now this is an important question. Why is Rochelle? No, she sent me a little note that said, "Can you please ask this?" And honestly, earlier in the comments, most people said that she was a better, faster, and more experienced rider. Is that true?
They're all liars, and I'm going to text her and ask her why she's privately contacting strange men on the internet.
Strange American men.
Just strange men in general.
Yeah,
strange.
I think Rochelle started out as a better rider than me because she'd been riding for quite a while before I started at the end of 2016. But I've surpassed her now. Sure. Come on, folks. Really? You know why? Everyone has a perception because she's always in the front of the videos, but it's just that her bike looks nicer, so I want it in the view. I want it in the footage.
Yeah. Whatever makes you feel better, brother. We're good with that.
Well, obviously, a lot of the viewers disagree. So.
Yeah, and Rochelle, it's 52 minutes and 46 seconds into the stream that you can go listen to your husband's comments.
Look for her comments, and if you ever see her comments, she goes under the moniker of Stevie O 117. So
okay,
so if you see that, that's Rochelle.
Awesome. Why do you guys ride on the wrong side of the road?
Well, we don't really. Come on.
How do you biker wave?
Well, we've had this chat. I said this in one of Code Gray's videos and another video. I think it was Schmoto Travels. It's odd because you guys are over there. Well, our oncoming traffic is over there. We can't. So a lot of times in advance, you decide to do it and you might stick your hand up early, or there's a lot of nodding of the helmet. But you've got to make up your mind early. And so we can't do that. We've got to do that.
Do you wave like this? So wait, get your hand up and go. Like
I'm a
you do this?
I'm a peace guy.
So in the U.S., we laugh at people that wave like that. Just
yeah,
so you know.
Wave like that, or
because we got the. That's
Queen
one
Elizabeth does that.
Yeah.
Not the Queen.
What? Hey, next time we ride, we got to do that, right?
No, I don't. See, people always say wave, but I don't. Do people actually wave?
That is the reason why you guys should flip to the other side of the road. It's just for the biker wave.
It could tend to be a little dangerous, Bob.
So there's no real wave. It's a nod.
No, it's an acknowledgement of the other rider. It's not a hi.
So
it's like a this or that.
Are you doing that with because you're on the left side of the road? Are you doing that with your throttle side?
That's what
that's what I'm saying. So because our oncoming traffic is on our right, you've got to make up your mind early that you're going to acknowledge them, and because particularly if you've got a higher screen like mine, you've got to make your mind up and you've got to raise your arm up like that. Like you're at a
crap, that's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
That's your
come into play.
That's your left arm you do that with?
Yeah.
So they got to look across the street.
Yeah.
Well, like we do that on the highway. I do that on the highway. I'll wave to somebody on the other side.
They got to fix that, Bob.
We got to fix that.
That's a reason to switch.
Hang on, how many countries? Yeah, that's why cruise control is a must. See, Paul's got it right.
There you go. That's right.
Where you are, Paul. You know,
honestly, Paul, that's the only thing I was thinking. The only way I could make it happen would be cruise control, right?
We do cruise control. You can do it with both hands.
Well, could you do cruise control, make that mandatory for all bikes in Australia, and then you could do the cool wave to the right? People are going to get hurt because you guys aren't doing it right.
But everyone in Australia is used to it. You just quickly go like that. Hey, dude. And you just keep going. Well,
and do you wave to every bike like we do? I mean, it's pretty much mandatory here.
It's not mandatory here. Is the biker thing not a thing? Wave? No, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It depends on your attitude. We do it. This is, we're Harley riders. I don't care if you're on an Indian, a scooter, or whatever on the other side of the road. L-plate, whatever. L-platers are learners in Australia. We wave through everybody.
We do cut it off at mopeds, though. We don't wave the mopeds. I'm just saying.
Are there any moped riders in the chat?
I don't know, but I waved to a scooter one day. My wife was on back. She hit the back of my helmet. She goes, "That was a scooter," and I'm like, "Oh crap! I'm sorry, hon."
There was 5 scooter people in the comments.
She's an angry Sheila then.
She's an angry Sheila.
It's definitely a thing, but it's like anyone else. Most people do it. Some people don't.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Some guy didn't wave to me today either, so I flipped him off. I don't know if he's seen it or not, but that's great, Colin.
So this is Colin's question because I thought it was offensive, but since I like Outback Steakhouse, did it really come from Australia?
I have no idea, but I like eating there. But the last 2 times I've been there, crap.
Bloomin' onion.
I haven't. Oh, I love the bloomin' onion, man. No, I don't have the bloomin' onion. I have the bloomin' petals on my steak. So it's pieces of the bloomin' onion as a side, and you put it on your steak.
Oh, that sounds actually really tasty.
That sounds good,
mate. The last 2 times, I have a theory about steak restaurants like that. I have a theory that you're paying 45 Australian dollars for a nice bit of steak, and there's a 25-year-old kid out the back cooking it, and he doesn't know how to do it. I can't remember the last time I went to a steakhouse and had a good steak. Pisses me off.
Well, when you come to America on your ride, we'll show you.
Well, I'm coming next year.
There's some good steakhouses out here.
No, we're going to Colin's house. You can cook them on the big green egg.
Yeah.
Why do you wave to bicyclists, Ricky? I just want to.
Yeah, Rick. Why do you wave to?
And so does.
Now here's the thing. I think we talked about this before. I wave to Amish people. You do that?
I had to cut your Amish comments out of the last video I did.
Well, I know, but like when they're in a wagon, I mean, it's cordial. I mean, they wave back.
I love riding in Amish country. Jack's got a lot of it. Of it. So, hey, this is real important. Do you know the guys from AC/DC?
I don't know them, and they're not from Australia. They're Scottish.
I thought they were from Sydney.
No, they grew up in Sydney and played all their early gigs in Sydney, but they're
actually what Wikipedia said.
The young brothers were Wikipedia. Yeah.
Siri, where is AC/DC from?
If it's on the internet, it's true, guys. It just is.
The young brothers were born in Scotland.
Wow.
But we're claiming them, just like Aussies claim a lot of famous New Zealand people, like Russell Crowe, etc.
Colin, you have misled me on 2 questions. I'm just going to say I'm not going to ask for advice anymore. Just
is AC/DC.
All right. Hey, important stuff before we go. All kidding aside, what's your favorite video? You guys got a great channel. First of all, everybody should go check you guys out. All kidding aside, obviously people can tell that you guys are genuine and a great team, but you also make great videos, right? What do you like doing the most? What's the one there you go, whether it does good or not, you look at it and go, man, I loved doing that.
Yeah, I constantly have these thoughts interchanging my mind about my editing techniques because we do all the filming together. I do all the editing. With my photography background, I tend to lean towards the more cinematic stuff. similar to what you've seen in the last couple of episodes of the Great Ocean Road tour, and blending drone photography in it with music. I always have a nice beat behind it. That's what my passion is. But I also try to mix it up. Every time I make one of those, I think, because we're not typical moto vloggers. I think out of 90 odd videos, I think there might be 5 or 6 moto vlog ones where I'm just riding and talking. But I like to incorporate as much talking as we can. Recently, there hasn't been much talking from Rochelle. That's only because we had audio issues with the GoPro mounted to her helmet, and I couldn't use it. So, but generally speaking, I like to try and make them have our broad, raw Aussie banter in it, but also have the cinematic film style approach, because I just think it's a nice change from the moto vlog thing, because we have this whole big melting pot of moto vloggers. I move towards the filmmaker side of it and just try to mix it up a little bit. We're very similar to Harley Roadshow in that way.
Yeah. People should check out his channel as well. How about you, Jack? What's your, regardless of how the video does, what kind of videos do you like making the best?
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into the cinematic type videos yet. I mean, I had one released today that you noticed that Mrs. HDR hated. She said, "I don't like you screaming into the microphone." I said, "You want to get people's attention." And some of my videos that came out lately, and I told you guys on our trip, I cut almost half the footage ended up on the cutting room floor, because when I start out, "Hi guys, it's Harley Day Rider. I'm back at you once again on the motorcycle." And you're right, moto vlogging as a whole is getting to be saturated, but I didn't sound any excitement, so I'm trying to get more excitement into my videos, right? So I think that's it. And I really like the stuff like at the parks where I'm off the bike. And I know Colin has done some of this with the GoPro, and I got the digital microphone on, and I'm talking to you about something. Then I get on the bike and ride a little bit, then get off and explore an area. I do like those videos the best.
Yeah. Colin, how about you?
Type of topics, and while they aren't like super popular, but it's more me because I'm totally into it, is history videos. Whether it be motorcycle history, I love learning about different companies, and especially like Harley Davidson, and talking about it. I love sharing those informations, anything like motorcycle related history. But the types of videos that I enjoy making the most are road trip videos. So whenever we go out and we ride, and then you can get a chance to pop up your drone and then tell a story, and then share that journey with everybody, is the best. You know, I'd never been to Ohio before, and I enjoyed putting those videos together for the Windy Night, because I want to share the experience, not just on one road like the 555, but just the three of us and the times we had. But more important, just kind of share some, like insights about the area. And it's cool getting comments saying, "Hey, I want to get out there and ride that area." And you can recommend it, because we had such a fun time doing it. So that's probably my favorite, is kind of like destination videos and like where you're going and enjoy. I mean, moto vlogs, you're right, Jack. I mean, as long as you're entertaining, you have fun with it, and you have a good topic, they're okay.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you're going to have a lot more fun and be more of a creator when you do those destination rides, in my opinion.
Yeah, Colin, I'm the same for you. Not much more to say other than, you can do a garage video, which I've come to hate, because it's an installation of something for 20 minutes that takes 6 hours, right? But you could talk about something with your bike, an accessory, or a change to the handlebars, and it does great. But to me, it's the same way riding with you guys, in the Smokies or our last trip. While may not do as good, those were more fun for me, without a doubt.
I mean, let's be honest. Whenever we talk about going to a road, I'm going to go on YouTube and look up that road.
Yep.
And see if, listen, we're going out to this place, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be going to the Foothills Parkway, the new section, which none of us have done. I looked it up. There's a road out there that's on the tail of the Dragon, that's off road, that Pete's 1800 and I are going to go. That comes, it's only for like off road bikes, but it comes right out at the tail of the Dragon, right in the middle of it. That's freaking awesome. So I can't wait to share that with folks, like a different way of getting to, what is it, guys, 318 curves or whatever. So I can't wait. I mean, like sharing stories like that is awesome. Sharing, like when you go to these meetups and stuff is so cool. Like when we went to Ohio and like the meetup those guys did for us, that was phenomenal. We had so much fun with that.
Yep.
That is for sure. So
Pete Parsons Branch. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that those road trips, bring back memories, right? Sometimes you get those on video and those are great. Probably the stuff that we did off camera was even better, right? So no doubt about that. And I think Harley Rochelle, I know you just did a series. I think it was 8, 9, 10 different videos. People got to go check that out and check out your channel. Really, really good stuff.
We got some really good Australian bloggers out there on YouTube.
No doubt. I think $1 Million Bogan is shaking in his boots with Harley Throttle Juice and the Harley Roadshow. That is for sure. So, hey, we really, Roger, appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Any final thoughts from Jack?
Again, Roger, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here and waking up early in the morning. I guess you said you're getting ready to start your work day. And I got to do that again August 15th. I got to start my work days back. So I know what that's going to feel like. But yeah, thanks for being here. Keep producing great stuff and we'll keep watching it.
Jack, thanks for rubbing it in that you still have basically a month off. So I appreciate that.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's like, no, I go back to work tomorrow. Roger, same thing. Appreciate you, man. You're a good dude. Good mate. Can't say dude. We had to learn that. You guys don't use dude over in Australia, but
not much.
We appreciate it, man. You're a good guy, and I love seeing your videos. And like as Bob's already said, make sure you check out his channel, guys. It's Bob turned me on to him a couple weeks ago, and you have some incredible cinematography. You really do. I mean, it's underrated. So just watching your stuff, man, it's great stuff. So hope to see you grow, and we appreciate you here tonight.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Roger, hope you had a good time.
I had a blast. I'd just like to quickly help you wind this up by saying that I'm very, very humbled by the opportunity. It's been a blast. I watch these most of the time. I'm in Jack's coffee with morning coffee with HDR, which is Saturday night to us. I see all the names that are in here pop up every week, and I love riffing with you guys. I have seen a lot of the chat comments today, so I really appreciate those. I haven't been able to personally respond to them, but again, a huge thank you to you three guys. I love all your channels independently as well. Australians love all the US content. It's not just US loving the Australian stuff. We love you guys, and cannot thank you guys enough for this opportunity. We appreciate you checking the channel out. We appreciate you enjoying the content.
YouTube and motorcycles bring us all together, doesn't it? No matter where you're at.
Yes, sir.
Right, 2 wheels or 3 wheels is all the same. So
thank you. Good luck to all your Sheilas.
Yeah.
Our Karen.
Yeah. My Karen video will be coming out soon.
Sheila Karen.
As Jackie said, and I know that HDR feels the same way on Saturday morning. It's always cool hanging out with friends. So thank you guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. And make sure that you check out.
Actually, it might be a little different because in 2 weeks we're going to be at VAM.
Yeah, we're going to try to do a live at VAM. That's my rule.
It might not be Sunday night though, but we'll see.
We got the HDR.
Oh yeah, right. We're all going to be traveling Sunday, so yeah, it might be held over for a week.
We'll let you guys know.
We'll let you know.
Make sure you follow all of our Instagrams.
Looking forward to it.
See y'all. Be safe out there. Check on a friend.
Take care.
Bye, guys.